to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Selah. Hello and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Seraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways, beloveds, and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. A couple of weeks ago, I actually released a story about how Biden's dark winter was unfolding this Christmas, this holidays. I mean, we've been seeing the signs because, mainstream media is basically propaganda machines. They've been telling people slowly, get your Christmas gifts early, get your turkeys early, holidays are not going to be the same, etc., etc. We've seen a breakdown in the global supply chain network, which was moved onto a just-in-time system, which means that before people, supermarket stores used to store up food for months, but now they made it into a system where people, many stores only have food for days. All of this, beloveds, is like some kind of entrapment theory, I'm telling you. And we have to look at this to recognize fully that the world really is a theater, that there are certain, magicians that are orchestrating everything that is unfolding on this planet, and their story is the big lie. If you listen to just their story, you will think that they're all powerful, almighty, that everything they're doing, is going to work out, because they are literally trying to make themselves God or create a synthetic God to rule this world. And that's why they're trying to mimic, the nature of the Most High, all-seeing, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, etc., by creating this global surveillance state, etc., etc. But the disturbing thing, beloveds, is that there's also been a lot of rumors, rumors of wars. What did Bob Marley say? Wars and rumors of wars will come in the end of times, and that is exactly what we're seeing. And when we hear Joe Biden talking about, the dark winter, it's actually disturbing if you go a bit deeper and you actually see that there was an Operation Dark Winter that was carried out all the way back in 2001. I've told you guys, everything that is unfolding right now is about Agenda 21, the total domination of planet Earth for the next 100 years, or the 21st century, etc., etc. It's all been about that. They started this in the 90s. So you can see how way back this goes. In 2002, they did, so Operation Dark Winter was actually a code name for a senior level bioterrorist attack. And it was basically allegedly designed to carry out a mock version of a covert and widespread smallpox attack on the divided states. Basically, it was the John Hopkins Center for Civilian Bio Defense Strategies and the Center for Strategic and International Studies were involved in this, and they were the principal designers of this outbreak. And beloveds, that alone should tell you the nature of these beings, that all they can simulate is the worst. All they can simulate is, dark attacks on the humanity. That's the world they see. They can't see the building of pyramids, traveling to other worlds. They don't have that capability. They're not that deep. And it's so obvious. But the annoying thing is these shallow people are the ones who have used all kinds of spells and magic to put us in the current predicament we're in and control the true creators and manifestors of this world. But those are definitely stories for others' days. So the basic scenario of this simulation was that It was an initial localized smallpox attack on Oklahoma, city Oklahoma, with additional attacks on Georgia and Pennsylvania. And then the simulation was then designed to spiral out of control. And this would create a contingency in which the National Security Council would struggle to determine both the origin of attacks as well as deal with containing the spreading of the virus. And basically, the summary of findings showed that an attack on the divided states with biological weapons would threaten vital national security interests, and the divided states was basically not ready for it. They talked about the current management structures for biowarfare were not there, and the healthcare and public systems did not have the capacity to deal with such an outbreak. And they also said dealing with the media would be a major immediate challenge for all levels of government. Is that where we're seeing mega censorship in our times? And and they said it would raise significant ethical, political, cultural, operational, and legal challenges in trying to contain the virus, because they'd have to contain the people, etc., etc. Like, these people ain't playing. These people ain't playing. That's why I wonder why we play so much. Why we think that the world is the way we see it with these two eyes. Babylon is falling, beloveds, and they have literally put so much into the narrative to get the world to go a certain way and literally hijack this great awakening that is that is unfolding. And they can't hijack the great awakening except for on an individual level. If you as an individual don't do your work, no one is coming to do the work for you. No one is coming to save your ass, beloveds. You got to do that all on your own. And the reason I share these stories is to show you just how calculated Babylon is. I mean, in 2001, they had a simulation for something that is similar to something that is happening now. And the thing is, war is on the horizon, beloveds. If you read the signs, if you put your head to the ground and check the temperatures, I think China, as I mentioned in the previous video, has launched this like hypersonic weapon that has Babylon shook up. It's a big game changer, and that may explain why the Chinese president was like, we will never be oppressed again. This is a warning to those who dare threaten the nation of China, blah, blah, blah. So how does this concern you, though? This should first of all tell you the importance of the narrative and how prepared the enemy of our soul is, how much, they've put into this, how much preparation, decades, beloveds. 21 years later, look what's unfolding, or exactly 20 years later. But it should also show you that, what takes decades to plan can be totally obliterated in a second. The most important thing for you is to awaken, beloveds, and to recognize that that is the thing that is in your power, but it is the one thing that can change everything. Your awakening will have a massive impact on the whole world. And in the world, in the seasons and times that we're going in, beloveds, if you're not moving spiritually, then you will have to bow to Babylon. Babylon is going to make it absolutely impossible for you to get a hit without getting a hit. Until next time. Chuko pamoja.